I think we can all remember Top Gear's review of the original Aston Martin V12 Vantage. It was an absolutely brilliant review. No, not just brilliant, breathtaking. It was perfectly done. The music hit all the right beats, the words were powerful and still relevant today, and the visuals were stunning. So why do I bring it up? I mean, this is a Lamborghini Essenza. It's an Italian thoroughbred, not a British brute. Because a lot of the words in that review are still relevant today. In fact, this Lamborghini appears to be the final purebred V12 Lamborghini ever to exist. Fortunately, it appears to be a Lamborghini in all of the classic fashion. All about drama and theatre and brute power, with a wonderful naturally aspirated V12 of 6.5 litres and 820 horsepower. Hopefully then, this is a fitting send-off to the traditional Lamborghini V12 supercar. It's very rare as well. There's only 39 of them in existence and you can't even drive them on the road. They're intended to be basically Lamborghini's equivalent of the FXX, well no, just the XX series Ferrari, where you can take them home but you can't drive them on the road, but Lamborghini will also keep them at the factory and then ship it out with a race team to any racetrack of your choosing where you can go around it all day. And I have to admit, a lot of people have forgotten about it. Because it feels like Lamborghini releases a big, super rare limited edition car far too often. I mean, in the past 20 years alone, there's been the Reventon, the Centenario, the Cyan, the new Countach, this. It's ludicrous. I mean, to put it this way, the classic big Lambos, the Diablo, the Countach and the Miura, had 30 years between them. And yet in the past 20 years, we've got all of these rare limited edition things. They're starting to just become irrelevant. And it's a real shame. So what makes this one stick out from the rest? Well, I suppose it's the fact that it's a race car. Not even a race car from the road, just a race car. I believe Lamborghini intended to make it into a sort of single make model race series, all 39 of them. But I haven't heard much news from that in the past 4 years, which is, from now to when it was released. It's 820 horsepower and it uses the SVJ Aventador's 6.5 litre naturally aspirated wonderful V12. The engine itself actually is of much importance. As I said earlier, and I cannot stress this enough, this is a car that you focus on it for the engine, just because it is probably going to be the last of the great V12 Lamborghinis. Now, because the engine itself is so important, it's fitting that it has a lovely little backstory. Ever since Lamborghini released the 350 GT back in 1963, their first ever car, all of their V12 cars used an engine called the Bizzarini V12. That's every single V12 car, or at least it was up until the Aventador. The Aventador swapped it for a brand new unit. Which, as it turns out, while there was a heck of a lot of "oh no" from the automotive community, they were wrong in their presumptions. At its peak, the Bizzarini V12 was 6.5 litres and 640 bhp. This one is also 6.5 litres, only with about 180 extra bhp, which is a pretty stupid amount, and also is a great homage to how good car manufacturers are these days at squeezing the most amount of power out of the smallest possible engine. This thing in Dealership Tycoon has had its performance inflated a little bit. Not helped by the fact I've upgraded it up to 320 miles an hour. This is a stupidly quick car and I absolutely love it. It doesn't matter how the relative performance is. You know that this thing is always going to be an absolute blast when you're putting your foot down. Best bit is it barely squats, because the suspension is really, really stiff and so's the chassis. Which means that it's basically put your foot down and get teleported. Really good fun, actually. It would be amazing if I could actually be able to corner it properly, but unfortunately my phone has decided that now is the best time to lag. Shame about that. Still, in the few rare moments that my phone isn't acting like a potato, seriously, I hate this thing sometimes, it's actually really good fun. You get a nice bit of braking, like the brakes are pretty good, well, not pretty good, stunningly good. The speed round the corners is a little bit lacking, to be honest, but the feel is good. Chassis is a little bit too stiff. Like, it would be nice if it was more pliant and supple. But all in all, not a bad handling package. Oh, and the best bit is it doesn't jump around in the corners much. Like, so if you happen to plan on grinding with this car, it's not a bad bet, because it won't keep trying to kill you. I'm excited for this lap. This is a race car, no mistake about it, not even road legal. But also, it's got a racing style chassis, so while I was on those twisty mountain roads, it didn't work much because there was too much roadiness, but now that we're on the track, should all start to come together. Or at least it will if I drive it properly, which I probably won't. Brake. Oh, that was good, that was good. Nearly hit the wall there, but yeah, that's my own fault. You can get the power down really nicely. Oh, sorry about that, I overcooked it. And then last corner, would be amazing if this phone wasn't so laggy. 31.83, but obviously could have done so much better if it wasn't for that final section with my phone acting like a potato. Really hate this thing sometimes. But is it your best bet? I think not. If you want a really good car around this sort of £8-9 million price bracket, your best bet is not this Lamborghini. It's the Bugatti Divo. When I was running my speed tests, this thing clocked in at half a second quicker on the top speed race, which is where I do all my speed tests. Which, you know, considering the fact that the top speed race is 14 seconds at tops for cars around this speed, is quite a bit of speed. So all in all, if you want a really good car around this sort of price bracket, don't buy the Essenza, buy a Divo. So on that bombshell, I will see you all tomorrow with, quite simply, the best car in the game. Statistics wise. See you then, hopefully.